Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Breakout session. Please welcome Mr. Ricky Lau, AI Sales Specialist, Google Cloud. Mr. Edward Wu, Head of Data Science and Governance Department, the Bank of East Asia Limited. Mr. Michael Yao, Head of Center of Excellence, Data Science and Governance Department, the Bank of East Asia Limited. Ms. Tammy Kwok, Section Head, Operational Strategy and Development, the Bank of East Asia Limited, to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. How is your lunch? Okay, right? No? Okay, so my name is Ricky. Today we have a really good sharing from one of my really key customers in Hong Kong. We have Edward here, Tammy here, and Michael here. Okay, I don't repeat their titles, all in the slide already. Okay, so today we have a really exciting moment to invite one of our key customers to share their journey on how to adopt generative AI in their organizations. Okay, so actually, I believe in the BEA visions and implementation of generative AI. They have a lot of story behind, and I think, all my guests prepared to share some, I don't know, it's a secret or not, but why don't we just start with Edward? Can you please just share with us, what is your vision on generative AI at BEA?
Thank you, Ricky. In BA, our objective is to integrate the power of AI to transform our operations, to enhance our risk management, and also to create value to our customer while secured, responsible, and fit for purposes AI deployment. So generative AI can draw the interest and accelerate the adoptions, but at the same time, we believe that traditional AI is still the primary driver for us to help the bank to do the AI transformations. We believe in data. It can help us to better understand our customers, to develop our product features, or even to help us to segmentize our different customers and customize those products and services according to the individual personas. AI as assistance becomes a standard product features nowadays. Hyper-personalizations and also conventional chatbot can help us better serve our customer with less. But at the same time, we are accountable for all the AI usage. We work with our second line to define our BDAI governance policies. We also need to ensure every single use cases are reviewed and also validated before we launch the productions. Last but not least, it's all about people and talent. We develop our own data literacy training program, in which we already trained up more than 150 people in the last 2 years. It's not about only the theoretical training course, but also we customize our hands-on program in which we hope that they can take it out and also implement in their business, in their standard procedures, something like that. At the same time, we want to extend our program to AI talents in 2025. We would like to unlock the power of Gen AI and also the AI tools to help that they can integrate it with their daily operations and the daily life.
Great. Okay, I get few really important points from Edward. First of all, everyone crazy for generative AI, right? And don't forget the traditional AI. This is really important. Data also really important, and the training also really important, right? And I believe one of the really critical elements from BEA to adopt generative AI, I think not only BEA, for all organizations, operations efficiency is one of the really important elements for all organizations to adopt the generative AI. So on that part, Tammy, can you share more about how BEA to adopt generative AI on operations efficiency?
Well, I guess in operation we see a lot of opportunities to adopt generative AI in different operation processes. I guess we do have a lot of different ideas, probably like a lot of pain points in the operations. Yeah. When it comes to really processing the unstructured data, we see the value from generative AI. And this year, we do have more than 15 use cases we target to deliver. And that include different areas like contact center, trade processing, and actually in May, we launched the first AI assistant to assist the RM to prepare their credit proposal. In terms of challenges, I wouldn't say it's really challenges, but then it's more like consideration that my team is driving the AI use cases. So there are 4 points I think that's quite key. First of all is the data privacy. So when we really shortlist which use case that we should go for, one point that we have to keep in mind that when it involves the personal data, then I guess that we have to go to Edward for the data governance to ask the questions if that is good or not. Secondly, I think like model accuracy, explainability is another key point that we should keep in mind. Third one is more the integration with the legacy system, because when it comes to the operation processes, we want to have the end-to-end process in place for the automation, etc. So integrating the AI results to downstream system, that it's another key that we have to keep in mind as well. And lastly, I guess bring it back to what Edward just mentioned, like people. Because when we have new AI solutions in operations, then I guess we have to make sure we got our people being trained to be able to use the new solutions.
Great, thank you, Tammy. I think in my past 12 months, 18 months, a lot of people keep asking me, hey, Ricky, I saw you did a lot of workshop, seminar, promotion about Google AI in Hong Kong, but Hong Kong can use Google AI? This is a question from most of the customers, even this morning. But I think this is a really good, typical example on how the local traditional enterprise to leverage Google AI, okay? And I want to repeat my answers. Google AI can use in Hong Kong, even though traditional Hong Kong enterprise like BEA, okay? So, yeah, I think Tammy just mentioned about like data privacy, people, training, something like that, okay? But I think when we are trying to adopt the new technologies, okay, there will involve a lot of transformations in terms of the system or people, something like that. So in that part, I think, yeah, Michael, do you mind to share more about, okay, how you take care of that kind of transformations?
Yes, actually I was asked the same questions as was the Gemini can be used in Hong Kong since last year. I think when we're talking about the adoption of new technology, but actually we are solving the problem on how to make the people to adopt the technology to our daily work. And I just want to share something very interesting in our generative AI journey in the BA is let's stay back to the 2024 last year when the Gemini is launched in the Hong Kong GCP. We are thinking how we can widespread to take this technology to benefit to the bank. And when I talk to different users from different BUs to ask about how I can adopt the generative AI to help use for daily work, and I found that most of the users, the understanding of generative AI is also based on the medias, or maybe from their friends, from their YouTubes, and they think the generative AI is something very mysterious. So some people may have very high expectation for generative AI like wizard, like magic, and some people will underestimate that. And after that, we arrange a very large-scale training in our BA. We have 100 people to join a hands-on training. The reason for why we arrange such a big-scale hands-on training is we don't need to talk and demo what GenAI can do. We need to push the user to work with us to feel directly what the GenAI can directly deliver to the users. So that's, and thanks for the Google on the support on that event. I think it's very successful because we arranged 60 users from very different departments from all around the banks. So many interesting ideas are thinking and interesting questions are asked in that training. And then we found that, okay, so the users can understand what the GenAI really is, what the GenAI can really deliver to the bank. and then our use case can widespread to be used. And back to this year, I think the Gen AI is more common because we have many different models in the world. And then we found that another things, maybe another happy question happened because people may use generative AI in our daily work. But to use Gen AI in your daily work and to use Gen AI in your enterprise work is a very different things. For example, when you go hiking, you have a picture of the bird and ask Gen AI, okay, what is that kind of the bird? You may accept if the Gen AI have 70% of accuracy for you to answer this is something like a bird or something like different things. But if you use an OCR technology in Gen AI to let the Gen AI to record or extract the characteristic from the PDF from multiple documents, if you told your boss, okay, I have only 80% of the accuracy, your boss will say, hey, Michael, so what is the rest of the 20%? So this is very different things.
Who is your boss?
My boss there, okay? So that's another reason I think my boss also talked about that BA launched a very big scale of AI talent program this year because rather than we just do some hands-on training step by step or one by one, we want to have a more systematic and complicated and sophisticated training program to let 80%, at least 80% of staff in BA to understand the generative AI well. We have different layers of people here, like the AI users, like the AI managers, who can self-service the AI use cases. So not only the data team can deliver the AI use cases to the users can do it by themselves. So that's what we adopt the technologies to the bank.
Thanks, Michael. Really details explanation for that journey. In fact, I'm the part of the speaker on your workshop. Yes. So what I can see the whole journey, I mean the transformation from day 1 to day 10, 20. So yeah, I can see it's really exciting. What I want to say is, okay. So my next question want to back to Edward. Okay, we talk about the operation efficiency. So how about if any initiative on the how to leveraging the Gen AI to improve the increase the revenue or improve the risk management?
We already know that generative AI can streamline the workflow, automate those simple and repetitive tasks. So echo Michael was just shared. We find it is highly adoptable and also effective in integrating both Gen AI and also traditional AI model together. Say for example, in BA, we just launched our contact center knowledge base, which is an internal chatbot to help our contact center, our call center, to answer the customer inquiries. For this scenario, actually we take the chain-to-chain approach to help our people, to help our contact center staff, to prepare the materials by using a Gen AI summarization tools. They train up more than 400 documents, including the TNCs, campaign documents, and product manuals. We find that with this new solution on AI use case, we used to spend more than 40 minutes or 40 seconds to 1 minute to answer our customer inquiries. But now we just need to key in the keywords in the portal, and the answer will come up immediately within 2 seconds, which saves us more than 90% of the effort. But at the same time, we use it together with our PPO Customer 360 models. We fully automate and generate the insight topics according to the individual persona. That means the time that saves our call center, they have more time to communicate with the customer, in which it also pushes up the cross-sell and upsell opportunities. And on the other hand, we know that data has the opportunity to drive and also to help us to identify the potential risks, especially on the external faults. Say, for example, fault detections, transactional monitoring is what we have done already in the last couple of years. But we know that for the internal fault, even for the mis-selling, for the team, we can make good use of the speech-to-text solutions. It helps us to convert all the recordings that we have recorded in the call center to the script. And then we can identify the pattern to see whether there is a misleading or mis-selling in the conversations, on the sales civilian, or even in a trade civilian, etc., etc. At the same time, we are building another first new search engine, which can help us to identify. Of course, we have to access those whitelist web page to help us identify potentials, fraud elements, or news that's related to our customers. But don't forget, the technology behind is regulable. That means once we build the foundations, once we build the AI platform, we can repeat the use cases across different business, across different departments. Say, for example, we can use it for either check the good news or bad news, or even to identify the investment opportunities and push those messages to our traders or to our customers.
Thanks, Edward. Really good use case adopted by local bank, right? So next question, I want to go back to Tammy, okay? Any special use case you can share? I can see they have a really comprehensive deck, right? You sure you can share, right? This is not confidential, right?
Yeah, I got the approval from the bank. So yeah, I actually want to share two use cases from operations. So the first one is actually about the auto trade booking on structured investment products. So if you work in a bank, you know, for any structured product like equity-linked notes, the operation, they would need to receive like different term sheets, trade confo ticket, etc. from email, and then the officer will need to do the verification, checking, etc. before they can book into the system. So for this first solution, we actually make use of Gemini, the OCR capability that Michael just mentioned. My requirement is actually to 90% accuracy, not 80. And he's still working on it. So this one, we actually use OCR to extract the trade details from different documents, unstructured documents, because different counterpart, they might have different formats. So it's not very like a standardized one. And then we actually develop a program in order to do the matching. Once the trade is matched, we automatically feed to the booking system to create a trade. So this one is actually mimic what the maker is doing, and we leave the operation staff to focus on their exceptional handling and also strengthen the day-to-day controls. And the second one I want to share is also about contact center. Not the knowledge base, but then it's on the call quality assurance. So traditionally, contact center staff, they will need to manually pick the sample and then listen to the call recording one by one. And it's quite time consuming, and also it's only cover a limited number of calls. So in this use case, we actually use three different type of data source. The first one is the call recording speech to text. Second is the regulatory guideline. And the third one is the internal checking criteria. And we put into the Gen AI, and we use the prompt to actually help investigate any potential I guess, call quality issues, etc., so that the agents can go to have further investigation on each of the calls. And for this solution, we actually target to extend to cover 100% of the calls, so that we don't really rely on the manual process. And also with this, we believe that we can proactively manage potential complaints earlier, and also we can identify agents who needs further training. So these are the two use cases that we're actually working on, and also target to deliver within that 15 use case that I mentioned.
Thanks, Tammy. I think this is a really good use case. I like that because I'm really agree on what Edward just mentioned, okay? AI is not just a chatbot, okay? And these two use cases is a really good example on how the organization leverage the AI capability to increase whatever their operation efficiency, revenue, or even though the risk management. So my next question, I want to go back to Michael, okay? Yeah. This question is for both of us, okay? You know, Google Cloud play a really critical role for you guys on that transformation journey. Okay, can you tell me more about about your implementations, how Google Cloud assists you guys to go through that journey?
Thank you. I'm luckily you're not asking me what is the rest of the 10%. And I want to share a very interesting use case we did this year. We are doing a very big project this year. Is use a band-wide news or maybe insight engine. It's a very large-scale project, and how large is it? Even the project manager and I have a very special project Kwok for this project. We call it 長經閣. So if you read many 金融 novel, you understand how big it will be for 長經閣. So many books inside, and so you can imagine that if we build a very large scale of maybe knowledge base or maybe insight or news engine, we need to have a very good tools to support this kind of project. So what we adopt to this project is we use the Vertex AI search on it. Because the Vertex AI search, we have a vector DB on it. And a more important thing is the vector DB on site is have auto-chunking functions. Because I think maybe people, if you heard about the knowledge base or many news engine project, you will know all of these kind of projects should adopt the RAG approach. But for traditional RAG approach, we have spent so many times on how to chunk the information into small pieces. And on the other side, after we chunk the things into small pieces, how we can make sure that the generative AI can retrieve the correct pieces from it and combine it again to give a correct information to you. But what we do for this project is we leverage what the Vertex AI search can have the auto-chunking. So we don't need to consider how we chunk the document. But of course, we don't do this project on all this lazy way. Because when we put the hundreds of documents or even thousands of documents in it, we found that auto-chunking may not very good enough to support all the cases. So what is next step is we use the tagging. Because the Vertex AI search can support with tagging the library. So you can imagine that like you go to a library, you find a book. You don't need to go to the bookshelf to find a book. One by one, you can have some index to make you to have a fast track and fast search on the book. So the tagging library serves the same problem. And the other good things for the Vertex AI search is because it has the citation. So we can use this kind of citation features combined with the long context features of Gemini, because not all the GenAI model can support a very long context. So we can find, this pieces maybe from the document ABC, and we use the citation to get back the ABC full document and put it all into the Gemini to have the insight and news and answer the question from the users. So that's what we can leverage the Vertex AI search and the product in the GCP for us to have this large scale of project. And on the other side, I believe I'm talking about a self-service use case, right? So we also to let the user to use Notebook LM. Because Notebook LM is something like a very small scale of 長經閣. So if they want to build a big one, they can find us. If you want to build a small one, they can do it by themselves. So if we control the document into maybe 300 documents, they can use the Notebook LM to build their self-knowledge base or news engine. So that's, we have provided different two layers of the project, different two layers of the function to the user, which leverage the features from the GCP.
Before my next question to Michael again, right? I need to thank Michael to help me to introduce Notebook LM. Anyone know Notebook LM in this room? Not too much, right? So please, we have a booth outside focusing on Notebook LM, and this is, a really hot product from Google. Last year, only for B2C, you guys need to leverage VPN to use in Hong Kong, but now we have enterprise versions. You guys don't need to leverage VPN, can use Notebook LM in your enterprise.
It's cheap. It's very cheap.
Oh, this is from customer, okay? Not from me, okay? Thank you. So, Michael, one more question to you. I believe BA have a lot of AI planning, okay, in the coming futures, okay? Can you share a little bit, okay, for us, okay, any envisions about the AI capability from BEA, also, okay, including how you guys working with Google in the coming futures?
I think one thing is, I think agentic AI or maybe AI agent is a very popular topics in recent months. But I think this is still a very long way to the bank or maybe for enterprise to adopt their procedure into agentic AI. So I think since last year we have Gemini and we have traditional AI, which I think Edward and Tammy mentioned many different use cases we built last year. So maybe for this year we are start to build maybe a centralized AI platform because we have the AI talent pool, remember? So after the people got training, what we provide them to use, that's the AI platform. We collab all the use cases we built in the past and put all the things in the AI platform like marketplace. So they can select those kind of use cases on their own to find the correct approach, the correct solution for them. And of course, if the AI manager who have the capability to build the self-service use cases, they can also put those cases into the AI platform. So we have a centralized like supermarket for the users to select the correct project, correct solution for them to use. And when you're talking about the collaboration of Google, I need to thank you, Google, which plays a very critical part on our AI journey in the BA, because since last year, you provide support in our Band-Y hands-on training. And this year, I remember I invite Google to our data and AI community. The data and AI committee is, you can imagine, is a bi-weekly meeting in BA, which hundreds of users to join to sharing some new things from the world, new things from the different companies. So we invite Google to join that event and let Google to share maybe the Gemini 2.x to the users, to share the Noble LM to the users. I think this is very important to bring the information from the tech giant of the Google to let our users to understand more about the world, what's happening outside of the bank. So this collaboration is very important for us.
Thanks, Michael. I need to make sure that your boss and my boss also in the room. Thank you. So, yeah, Edward, do you mind? I think Tammy give us a really good example on your use case. Michael give us a really good sharing about your implementation journey, and you also share about your vision. Can you help us wrap it up on that section?
So it's crucial to define the objectives and also use cases that we can tell the management, the stakeholders that GenAI can add value. For the beginning of 2025, actually we consolidated more than 60 use cases, but not every single use case is really related to GenAI. But in fact, we should utilize all the resources and technology on hand, such as GenAI tools, AI modelings, even RPA or Python. Okay. By doing so, we can mobilize and utilize our resources more effectively, and also drive the directions of our talent programs and also the tech innovations in a more effective way.
Thank you very much. Once again, thanks my really important customers, BEA, to sharing their journey from the vision, adoption, transformation, implementation, and how to apply to all their talents. So once again, thank you very much, Edward, Tammy, and Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky, Edward, Michael, and Tammy. Please scan the QR code on screen to check in and collect your stamp for swag redemption.